at the Purdue 32-yard line. Borstick barks the signals, bluffs up the middle, back to throw. The rush is on. He breaks away. He's going to run it to the 30. Hit it to 26 and really nailed. And he is out cold.
I'm going, oh no, I hope he's okay, but I might get in the game.
Rusty Lish throwing on the sidelines along with Joe Montana. Both of them.
We probably both assumed that I was going in. I know I did.
And Lish now has come into the game.
President intends to resign.
I'm not a crook.
Political spying and Watergate.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
In 1974, the country had a lot of questions, but one thing was certain. Notre Dame was on top of the world. They were national champions in 1973, but in 74, head coach Ara Parseghian made the shocking announcement he would resign at the end of the season.
Success isn't instant at Notre Dame, and the coach here works under a great many obstacles. Obstacles that are based on high academic standards that we have here, our absolute determination not to cut any corners in the athletic program, no matter what the temptations might be. Ara has done all of this, and done it with great dignity and with great class.
I had been under a lot of pressure. 12 months of the year you're on a treadmill, just going 100 miles an hour. My feeling was relief.
Dan Devine had been a top choice for the head coaching position in 1964 when Ara Parseghian ultimately won the job. By the time Devine was given the post, he had a pair of very large shoes to fill. It was a feat that many Irish fans deemed impossible.
As I mentioned earlier, we're sorry to see our great legend Ara Parseghian leave, but we're also happy, Dan, to welcome you at Notre Dame.
He was quiet. He wasn't an extrovert. To follow Ara Parseghian, a legend, that's a tough act to do.
I want to just answer that question. That's a good question. It's my gut feeling that this is Ara's ball club, and when the game's over, then it's mine.
That year, I was a student manager, and it was a difficult year for Notre Dame football. There was not a lot of bonding immediately between Coach Devine and many of the holdover players, especially the veteran players. And the first 2 years, by Notre Dame's standards at that time, were not successful.
Despite 17 wins in 2 seasons, Devine's Irish appeared sluggish. To the team, however, a trip to the Gator Bowl in 1976 would start to change things.
Calls the signal. He's a senior from Columbus, Ohio. Goes to Ken McAfee again. Why not? He's a great.
We thought we had an opportunity to build on that game and kind of carry it into the 1977 season.
Final score, Notre Dame 20, Penn State 9.
It prepared us for a run for the national championship next fall.
When the 1977 season began, the top-ranked Irish were focused on the task at hand. They had one of the nation's strongest defenses, including cornerback Luther Bradley, defensive ends Ross Browner and Willie Fry, safety Joe Restick, and linebacker Bob Golick, my older brother. I was watching that season from the stands as a fan while Bob and his teammates sought out a title. They first had to play reigning champions Pittsburgh on the road.
When you look at this Pittsburgh Panther team, you see nothing but talented players at the skill positions.
Here's Lish moving out, rolling out to the right-hand side. He looks, he throws, it is intercepted by Wilson.
We played okay, but not really up to par or what we were capable of.
Becker was all over Matt Cavanaugh in the backfield. He had no time to throw.
1 second on the clock. There it is. The clock is run out. It's all over. And Notre Dame has ended up beating Pittsburgh by 10 points.
It was an important game to get by, being that it was on the road. And it kind of started the year slowly, but getting a win back then, every game was, a nice step.
After a sloppy victory, no one was convinced yet that the team was of championship caliber, but the players looked on. They hit the road south to Oxford, Mississippi. It was a game scheduled for the evening, but was moved up to high noon, giving the afternoon room only to get hotter.
The first time in the history of these two schools to meet, the Rebels of Ole Miss, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
It was a whole different atmosphere because we were going down south, and it was going to be hot, and we knew it.
The humidity is going to play a big part in this football game. It is a hot, hot afternoon. They are expecting it to be around 90 degrees.
Notre Dame's offense had yet to click. It didn't click in the Pitt game. A bunch of field goals helped to win, and remember, the Ole Miss defense really gave Notre Dame's offense a tough time.
The Rebels with the first down now at the Notre Dame 43-yard line.
We weren't mentally prepared, and that heat was something that affected us physically.
Rebels are moving the football now on crossbutts against the Irish.
They played us really, really hard, and they didn't make mistakes.
4th and about 3, so they will have to punt the ball.
I'll be remiss if I didn't say they played one heck of a game, way above their level.
The ball is batted into the air. It's caught by number 21 by James Stowe, and he goes in to score. Touchdown for Mississippi. The Rebels.
Well, I think we all felt that our season was potentially over after the Mississippi game.
It was kind of somber in the airplane coming back home.
We had a team-only meeting the next week. As a captain and as a group of seniors, we took it upon ourselves to play better, to be mentally ready, to be in a better physical condition, and to take on the rest of our schedule. We never lost sight of our goal.
After the loss to the Rebels, we didn't think there was a chance they could end the season calling themselves number one, but they were only 2 games in and had a lot of time to prove everyone wrong.
There were 7 freshman quarterbacks that came in. This is my year. Here I go, I come in there, I'm all excited about going to Notre Dame, and by the end of my freshman year, I had worked my way all the way down to number 7 as a freshman.
After finding himself on the bottom of the depth chart, future Hall of Fame legend Joe Montana was in a rut. By 1977, he started considering alternative options to football.
And he asked me if he could come out for basketball. And I took a double take. What? You're a quarterback in football. Dan Devine did not play me last year. I'm going to quit football, and I want to come out for basketball. I said, Joe, you know what talent I have coming back. I suggest you sit on Dan Devine's bench. You got a better chance of playing football regularly.
We both have different recollections, but I may have said something to that effect.
Was he a good basketball player? Joe Montana, every year here at Notre Dame, won the championship in bookstore basketball. So that's how good he was.
I always tell this story about us playing in an inter-hall basketball game, and I have a breakaway, and I'm getting ready to go down, and Joe is was following me, getting ready to play defense on me, and I was trying to decide whether I'm going to go up and dunk the ball or I was going to lay it high up on the glass. And so I figured that if I tried to dunk and I missed, everybody's going to laugh at me. So I decided just to kind of lay it up high on the glass. And when I did that, Joe jumped up, slapped the ball away, and he started laughing at me. He says, "Don't send a boy to do a man's job."
Even my dad thought I was going to go to school for basketball. And I really didn't know what I was going to do until I got an offer from Notre Dame for football. And then I stopped visiting every school, and just made up my mind right away. But yeah, I love basketball. I mean, I was having the time of my life playing basketball, even on the side.
However the story goes, Joe's fate to leave the court and focus on football might have been the luckiest of strokes for the Irish, and maybe for all the fans of the game. Coming off the loss to Mississippi, the Irish knew something needed to change, and it would have to be at Purdue.
We thought we were ready to play. It didn't work out that way in the beginning.
Touchdown for the Boilermakers.
First half, Rusty Lish got his belt. Gary Forstek is the number 2 guy and goes in.
At the Purdue 32-yard line. Forstek box the signals, bluffs up the middle, back to throw. The rush is on. He breaks away. He's going to run it to the 30. Hit it to 26 and really nailed. And he is out cold.
Literally, he almost swallowed his tongue. Gene Paskett, our trainer, had to save his life.
It was the first time I ever saw an ambulance come on the field to take a guy off the field, and it was a pretty harrowing experience.
And Lish now has come into the game.
I can remember vividly calling the game on student radio and being stunned when Rusty Lish went back in the game. Because we knew that he had been jarred pretty significantly in his hit.
We teased Joe Montana. We said, Joe, you only got in because Devine didn't have anywhere else to go. You know, you were the third and last quarterback on the bench.
Joe came in and lit it up.
First and 10 for the Irish, and Joe Montana is quarterbacking now.
Joe Montana received his nickname, the Comeback Kid, after two come-from-behind heart-stopping wins in '75 over North Carolina and Air Force. With Purdue in 1977, he earned the nickname. He became one more crucial piece to a puzzle that was finally starting to come together.
Joe certainly was the impetus, for us to come back in that game particularly. But it took 11 guys on both sides of the ball to do it.
Joe was at his best because he loved the competition. He'd go out and just perform like it's a walk in the park. But we all knew it wasn't a walk in the park.
Cool and calm at all times.
After his heroics against the Boilermakers, Joe led the Irish to a 4-1 record while rival USC waited just around the corner.
Southern Cal Notre Dame rivalry throughout the years has just been an unbelievable football game. I think it's up on top of all the rivalries in the country.
They could have been undefeated coming in and potentially ranked #1 in the country.
Tomorrow, it will not be just one coach, just one football player, just one chair. It'll be you. You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal.
Tuesday before that, Coach Devine called the captains in to his office and showed us the green jerseys. And he said, "What do you think?" And we loved them. He said, "That'd be great. Next season, the team would look great in them. I think that's a neat tradition." Coach Devine goes, "No, I'm thinking about wearing them Saturday." Now here's the deal. We got to keep it quiet.
And if Willie Fry wants everybody to wear green, then we will be the Green Machine. We are Green Machine.
That was just the beginning of setting the crowd up to know that there's going to be something different when that team comes out of the tunnel to start the game tomorrow.
Dan Devine's plan to give his team a mental edge was simple. While the team warmed up in their usual blue jerseys, Devine had the equipment manager place green jerseys in each of the players' lockers. It was a secret to everyone, and no one expected that day to become legendary the way it did. When we saw the players come out in green, the whole place got into a frenzy. It was pretty wild, and I'll never forget it.
Absolutely no one on the team other than the equipment manager, Coach Devine, and the captains knew about it. I'm confident of that because the reaction in the locker room when they showed us the green jerseys told us that.
The whole locker room erupted. You thought we won the game.
The place was bedlam.
The Fighting Irish are coming out in green jerseys. They warmed up in their traditional blue, went back to the locker room, and the green and gold are on the field once again at Notre Dame.
It was over when Southern Cal saw them coming out of the tunnel in the green jerseys and John Robinson. It was in his head. This is bigger than big.
I think they were looking at it like, holy mackerel, what the heck's going on here?
It was incredible. I mean, every student erupted. Everybody exploded. It was Goosebump City.
Notre Dame and Southern Cal, the most spectacular of all the intersectional series in the realm of collegiate football.
That intensity never let up for 4 quarters.
That was it. I mean, that game was all you looked forward to.
We were excited because we knew that this was going to be the pivotal game for the year.
We hadn't beaten them in the 3 years prior. We had a lot to prove for ourselves.
Montana has the ball. He's got a receiver wide open. It's McAfee. McAfee for the touchdown.
I'm almost got killed by a bunch of students that jumping on me, to score that touchdown.
Students swarm onto the field. A big, big win for Notre Dame in their green and gold.
Beating USC was crucial, but it wasn't their last game against a ranked opponent that season. The Irish were headed south, where they had lost their only game, this time to Death Valley, to play the 15th-ranked Clemson Tigers.
They take their football very seriously down there.
Moose Krause, who was the athletic director, came into our locker room. He said, "Gentlemen, just keep your helmets on because they're throwing stuff." So we came out of the locker room and they're throwing golf balls at our heads. And I remember there was like a catfish that came out of the stands and landed next to us.
We were not happy about that.
The first meeting ever of these two teams.
If you get caught up in the crowd, you're not playing the game.
We were able to move the ball against a very good defense. We weren't used to seeing that, especially in their home field.
Dan Devine being restrained on the sidelines. Penalty mark has been thrown now for the penalty.
The offense, they had to overcome some penalties, if I recall. It seems like they had to go 200 yards down the field to score.
Now Montana throwing, and it is complete to McAfee.
That is the first time I think the crowd realized this game is getting to be over.
You got to win ugly, and we won ugly there. And thanks to Joe, we won that game. But defensively, we struggled in that game, in my opinion.
We said, "Thank goodness we won. Let's get out of here and get on with the season."
The I formation that developed in the 5th game of the season proved clutch for the offense in a season where the defense never failed them.
And Notre Dame has beaten the Air Force today by a score of 49-0.
After Clemson, everything changed. That doubt we had after Ole Miss was gone. Bob and the team were invincible, and there was never a better time to be an Irish fan. We watched them roll over their remaining opponents, and then we just had to wait for the bowl announcements.
We're the best football team in the United States.
After the regular season ended, Ken McAfee was invited to New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony. He placed 3rd in the voting, but didn't go home empty-handed.
Ken McAfee, a tight end in his senior year.
I won the Receiver of the Year award, and so I went up to the podium to receive my award and merely said that, this award's great. I want to thank my teammates, the University of Notre Dame. The only prize that I really want is the opportunity to play Texas for a potential national championship. The next day, it was in the paper, McAfee says Notre Dame is going to beat Texas. I had a rock thrown through my window in my hotel room with a note attached to it saying if you play against Texas, you're going to die. It was quite a build-up to that game, needless to say.
Texas was an unbelievable team that year. Playing them and winning big was the only chance Notre Dame had to end the season on the top of the polls.
No one was given a chance for us to win. No one. Other than our locker room and our campus community.
I think they had every trophy in college football on that team, whether it was the Outland Trophy, the Heisman Trophy, the best kicker or punter, and everything they had, every trophy just about known was on their team.
So you're playing a team that's perfect, and you're coming in with a 1 loss at number 5. You don't have a chance. That's what people were telling us. And then the game starts. And it's on. And our defense rose to occasion. Earl Campbell, this Heisman Trophy winner, I wouldn't want to be in him that day.
The best part of our team throughout the whole season, consistently playing, was our defense. Defense wins championships, and our team was a great example of that. Got to give credit to Bob Golick, who was our All-American middle linebacker, who was asked to shadow Earl Campbell. We held him to 120 yards. In other words, that's holding Earl Campbell.
They ran the wishbone offense, which, you fake it to the fullback and then you pitch it out to the running back. Well, sometimes there's risk involved in that, and I think Ross wiped the ball, one of the pitches down, and he fumbled. He picked it up or recovered it. You got to turn those mistakes into points, and we did that.
All right, let's get it
I think both Jerome and Vegas had over 100 yards that day.
Our team was just a lot more physical that day than they were.
Montana hits McAfee at first down, Notre Dame. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
With a decisive win over Texas, Notre Dame was announced as consensus national champions. Vegas Ferguson and my brother Bob were both named MVPs of the game that day. It was incredible.
I'm not going to say there's any possibility that we won't be voted number one because we're the best football team in the United States.
To play very well on our last game against the number one team, against the Heisman Trophy winner, certainly was a really, really good feeling.
It was a season to look back on and say, hey, we overcame a lot, but we did it as a team.
We had great running backs, great line, great defense, and it all just gelled, and it was just the greatest experience of my life.
It was beyond my dreams. I'm a small-town boy from Pennsylvania. I couldn't even have dreamed of living that way, and yet I was able to.
I'm just, happy and blessed that I was able to play for the national championship at some point and win one, at a place I dreamt about going all my life. Being a part of that football team and the campus and the student body, there's nothing like it.
Written on the chalkboard in Dan Devine's locker room was the phrase, "It's not where you start, it's where you finish." Notre Dame's 10th national champions proved that Devine was right.